Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Ruby programming language. Did I just say language? Well, I did. So, in this episode, we're gonna talk about if-else statements, unless statements, and a couple more other stuffs. Okay, so let's get started. Let me open my directory. Let me fire up my ID in the directory. And this is our previous program, right, from the previous episode. So let me create another new file. Let me call it conditions.rb. Okay, and let's start off. So what are if-else statements? Okay, so as a developer you'll come across a lot of scenarios where you have to decide, like, there will be like two paths. Okay, you can imagine it to be two paths and you have to take one path only. Okay, and depending on some factors or conditions. Okay, so those scenarios are handled by statements like if else. Okay, so what if else statement does is, if takes a condition. Okay, a condition can be 4 equals 4, anything that returns a boolean value. Okay, boolean values are true or false, right? I hope you guys remember that. Right. So this returns a boolean value because we're using this operator, right? This operator checks whether this or this, whether this is equal to this, right? And then you can write your statements inside this code, okay, which you want to get executed when this is true, right? So you want to execute 4, or let's say the number is 4, or it's equal. I don't know why I focus on this a lot. It's equal. And then let's say when this is false, you want to write, you will write else, and then write the code which you want to execute if this condition is false. Okay, that simple. Okay, let's try and run this. It's equal. Hooray. So that's basically what if-else statements are, right? You can try out with a lot of stuff. Let's take a user input. What am I doing? Number equals getS to I, and then write if number greater than 0, put as positive, else put as negative, and right, and run this. Enter number 33, positive. Enter number. Wait, 33 is not positive. Oh, obviously 33 is positive. What am I talking about? Minus, oh sorry, minus 33 is negative, right? So it's taking care of all the situation. Or you might think, what happens when I enter a number 0? You can pause the video and try and come up with your answer. Okay, let's see if you get the right answer. So you can pause the video right about now. Okay, so let's see if your answer matches the answer here. I'm getting negative. So the reason why I'm getting negative is because 0 is not greater than 0, right? 0 is equal to 0, right? If I had written if number equals 0, then I would have gotten positive, right? But I'm getting negative because number is not greater than 0. That's why I'm getting here. So you don't want to get, but 0 is not a negative number, right? So to capture those kind of scenarios, we have a keyword called else if. That is, if number greater than 0, and let's do the same thing. Let's try else if now. Else if again has a condition. Okay, if number less than 0, puts negative, right? Now inside the else never has a condition, keep in mind, because else never needs a condition. If your else need some condition, that means your code is wrong, okay, and you have to evaluate your code. 0. Okay, let's try now. 33 I'm getting positive, 22 I'm getting positive, 11 I'm keep on forgetting, minus 33 is negative, 0 I'm getting 0, right? And also keep in mind there can be multiple else if scenario. Let's say number equals 5. Oh, I said 5 and I wrote 4. Okay, great. I'm doing great. 11 is 4. Positive. 3 is positive. And can you tell me what happens when I write 4? You can pause the video and see if your answer matches mine. I got positive instead of 4 because you see the code execution happens from top to bottom, right? When this number was greater than 0, 4 is always greater than 0, positive was executed and the code came here, right? It skipped all of these. Okay, so this is what it does, right? You can have multiple else if conditions when you have those conditions to fulfill, right? Right now the only condition that I can see, the only scenarios I can see as number can be greater than 0, number can be less than 0, put s, right? So if the scenario doesn't get fulfilled with this, then you have to write again another else if. Okay, you can also do else if number equals to 0 in case instead of 0 instead of else. Okay, so the another way to do it is unless statements. Okay, unless statements have only unless and else, doesn't have else if. Okay, let me show you. Unless is the complete opposite of if. Okay, so if executes its statements, its execution happens when the above condition is true, right? But in case of unless, it executes when the above statement is false. That means here you have to write negative, else positive. Positive, negative, but 0 again, negative, right? So you'll have to write here if number equals 0 puts 0. So this is how you can nest if else statements, okay, inside. By nesting I mean writing codes inside, writing if else statements inside another if else or unless else statement. Positive, negative, because oh yeah, right, so number less than 0, so 0 is greater than 0, which is false, so there's no way to cover this scenario there, obviously. To do that you have to again write if else, and always make sure, you know, I'd like to give you a tip, okay? Make sure that when you write unless, you don't have else statements, okay? Because it's always preferred to write if else statement instead of this, okay? Because this is a lot of, is more work than if else statement, okay? There'll be scenarios where this makes more sense, but if your unless has an else statement with it, that means, you know, your code is wrong and you have to evaluate it somehow. Okay, let's talk about ternary operators now. Okay, ternary operators are again operators. I didn't talk about ternary operators in the previous episode because I don't want to, I wanted to make it very easy for you guys. So right, so ternary operators are not that difficult to understand. It's very simple actually. So ternary operator has conditions. Okay, then this is the ternary operator. Okay, then it has some statements which gets executed when it's true and some statements which gets executed when it's false. Okay, so let's see what ternary operators are. Right, let's try a different thing. Let's see. Can you tell me what this does? So this checks if a number is even or not or odd. The reason how it's doing it is because of this modulo operator. So as you remember, the modulo operator returns the remainder of an operation, right? So any number when you divide it by 2, if there is a remainder, that means the number is odd. And if there is no remainder, that means if modulo 2 equals 0, if the remainder is 0, that means the number is even. So let's see, even, odd. Okay, and you have to store it in a variable result, okay, or any variable you want, so that we can show this properly. The number is, I hope you guys remember what string interpolation is, right? This two braces with this hash I'm talking about. And I got, oh sorry, that's not a Ruby code. 33, the number is odd. Okay, 11, the number is odd. 23, the number is odd. Oh sorry, 0, the number is even, because 0 modulo 2 equals to 0. Okay, so yeah, so these are all these statements that I wanted to talk about. In the next episode we'll talk about case statements. Okay, that's also interesting, and I'm sure it's gonna be fun. Okay, so I had a lot of fun in this episode, and I hope you guys had too. Okay, and if you guys are wondering what I'm doing here, is I'm commenting these things off. Okay, so any line of code in your program or in your codes that you don't want to get executed, you can, let's say you don't want this code to be executed by the compiler or by the interpreter. What you do is you assign a hash to it. This is called a comment, and it never gets executed. Okay, so comments are used for primarily for to document your codes, right? Let's say you have this number, so for other developers to understand your code, you write this statement multiplies and assigns the value to product. So this is one good way to document your code and make your code much more readable, right? As a developer, you should always strive towards readable code. Okay, so this is it for this episode. If you guys have any problems or any questions, do ask in the comment, and I'll make sure that I answer all your questions and I clear out all your doubts before the next episode. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.